Om Purnamadam Purnamida Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. सभी को साथ में गाना है. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा गृधः कस्य सिद्धम्. ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं. रिपीट कीजिए सब.
ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं
यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत्
यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत्
तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा
तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा
मा गृधः कस्य सिद्धम्.
मा गृधः कस्य सिद्धम्.
ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं
ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं
यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत्
यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत्
तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा
तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा
मा गृधः कस्य सिद्धनम्.
मा गृधः कस्य सिद्धनम्.
Okay. So, who are supposed to present today? Who are supposed to present today?
Radhananda Das Prabhuji
And yourself?
and myself.
So you start now.
Okay, Prabhuji. Radhananda Das Prabhuji was supposed to take the first part.
Who is supposed to do the next loka?
It's okay. I can take the first part also. I have prepared.
You take because who sir? Time I don't waste. Okay, start. You can just do Namo Vishnu Padaya and then you start.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
I'm hearing, huh? Continue.
So it's an introduction to Isopanisad. So Prabhupada explains in a lecture about the meaning of Vedas. Veda means knowledge, Gyan. So original knowledge is the teachings of Vedas. So we are not able to understand the Vedas because we are not liberated souls. We have 4 defects and deficiencies, which is called conditioned soul. So our conditioned soul is supposed and must commit mistakes.
1 minute. Radhanand Prabhu has come. Whether you want to continue, Prabhu, or you let him continue?
Prabhu, I have my presentation ready. If you allow, I spend a lot of time. Prabhuji can continue, but if you allow me to present.
No, because you did not come, therefore we started. So you continue now. Let him give chance. Okay. Continue. Radhanand Prabhu, you give now. You give second part. K. Baba Prabhu, you are supposed to give second part, na?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, start, Prabhu.
Okay, bro. Let me share my screen. I'm sorry, I was a little late. I had to take care of my son. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you are able to see. Are you able to see my screen? Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, continue.
Okay, so today I'll be talking about a small section of introduction from Sri Isopanisad, the first 5 pages specifically. So this introduction is based on a lecture that His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami delivered on October 6th, 1969 in England. So in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada starts with explaining what actually, first of all, explain that Isopanisad is part of the Vedas. And Veda means knowledge, right? Now, what is the understanding of knowledge? So this knowledge is specifically coming from scripture. So this Vedic knowledge is perfect and it's free from 4 kind of defects. So that is the primary distinction when we are talking about Vedic knowledge. So what are these 4 kind of defects? Srila Prabhupada goes on to explains this further. And he mentions that the ascending process of knowledge, right? So Aroha Pantha, this process of knowledge is subject to 4 kind of defects. And we'll talk about what those 4 defects are, and which basically limits this ascending process of knowledge. So first, so in the Vedic scriptures, this word specifically appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Karana Patava, it refers to senses which are imperfect. So here you see on the right side, there is this diagram. This is the entire spectrum of light, right? So within this spectrum, you will see gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet radiation. There is infrared radiation, microwave, radio waves. So all of these rays, we don't have any direct perception of it. The only portion of light that we can see is visible light, which is a very small spectrum. So this is one very small example of how our senses are limited. Similarly, if we talk about our ability to hear sound, right? So there is again a very wide spectrum of wavelength of sounds. We cannot hear all of them. Srila Prabhupada gave a very simple example that in this lecture specifically, he says, hey, we switch off the light in the room, right? When you switch off the light, you cannot see anything. The room is dark. At other places, he used to say that, if you know, the closest thing to the eye is your eyelid, but you cannot see your eyelid. So the idea that we can see and observe and perceive things by our senses, right? That is a false proposition. Our senses are imperfect. Then we have pramad. Pramad means illusion. So our senses are imperfect, but then our mind is subject to illusions. On the right side, you see this diagram, a picture. And then if you keep seeing this, you can focus a little bit, 1 second on one corner, another second on another corner, and you move around. What do you observe?
The sphere is rotating.
The sphere is rotating, right? The other parts are also, the cone, the inverse cone, the hyperbolic cone next to it is also rotating. But actually, this is a still image. It's not a GIF or animation. It's just a still picture. But the mind is playing trick, right? So you can go on the internet. You will find a lot of examples of optical illusion. So in this way, we have this limitation that mind is subject to illusion. In the Shastras, the example often is given is sometimes a rope is perceived as a snake, right? So mind is subject to illusion. Now, if you look at the scientific process, all scientific process involves experimentation and observations. The observations are made by our senses, or sometimes they are made by extended senses. So instruments that the scientists use, different kind of probes, those are extended senses. And once those observations are made, they need to be perceived and conceived through the mind. But if you see that mind is subject to illusion, so that is the limitation of the mind. And what the scientists do is that then they build models, right? So you collect data and then you could plot a graph using that different data points. But for the same data points, sometimes we see they could, plot a graph which is, exponential line, or, they could pass a linear line, or so different kind of curves can be fit. So it depends on the biases the mind have. Every mind is different. So same data can be perceived and modeled in different way. Then we have Brahma. So intelligence can commit mistakes, right? So that's why we have this saying in English, to err is human. So it's no matter how intelligent a person might be, one is prone to mistakes. In this particular lecture, Srila Prabhupada gives his example that Mahatma Gandhi was considered to be a very important person. He was very intelligent, but then he was advised not to attend this particular political meeting on 30th January when there might be some danger. He still attended, then he was shot. He gives example of John F. Kennedy, Srila Prabhupada, in the same lecture, and then he also committed many mistakes. Now the scientists, what they do is once they model, their process of knowledge is ascending process of knowledge. So after they build models, which is again subject to the biases of the mind, they have to theoretize why is such the observations the way they are. So they come up with theory, let's say gravitational theory or electromagnetic theory. But any kind of theory, it's a theory, right? And different scientists will model the same data, same model of the data. They will come up with a different theory to explain it, right? So one is not considered as a scientist unless he has a different opinion. But then, who is true, right? They are all prone to mistakes. And then vipralipsa is cheating propensity. So here on the right side, we see an example that cheating propensity exists among all living entities. So the picture on the, picture on the right, left side, right, is, it's a painting called Girl with Pearl Earring. Now this was painted by Jonas back in 1665. It's a long time ago. Now someone more recently, they made an exact copy of that, not an exact copy, but they took an inspiration or, what do you call cheating, but somebody found out that, okay, it's essentially, they have used an image from the past. I'll quote another example. So, there is this professor called Garrett Merriam. He's a professor of philosophy at Sacramento State University. And, he being a professor of philosophy, one of the courses that he teaches is Introduction to Ethics. So in the Western world, they have this idea that if you want to instill morality, you have to take classes on morality. So it's very different from Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, morality is basically imparted through samskaras. So while taking a course on ethics and morality, into an introductory course, he conducted an exam. And before the exam, he found out that somebody had posted last year's exam paper on a website called Quizlet. So he approached the administrator of the website and he said, don't post that paper, post this particular paper. And along with that, he posted all the wrong answers. So now when the students took the exam, he found that 40 out of 96 students basically cheated. It was a take-home exam. So they downloaded the paper from this Quizlet site. And they attempted the same answers which were posted, and all those answers were wrong. So he knew that the students have copied. So now these are students of philosophy. They're considered to be, and they're taking a course on ethics, but they don't have any ethics. They are cheating, right? So you can see a lot of examples also. There is this field called sociology of science. In that, they have found that scientists, when their own career is at risk, right? Can somebody go on mute? I think you are on. Yeah. So what they found was scientists, if their own career is at stake, they find, let's say they find, the archaeologists, they found that the human bones existed for billions of years. But if they accepted, all their research work, all their reputation would be gone. So they are not committed to truth now because their career is at stake. So the cheating propensity is existing, right? So because of all this 4 defects, we cannot really trust, right? So broadly speaking, because of these defects, they all fall within Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman. So there are actually just a second. I'm going to again share my screen in a full view. So there are four different kind of evidences. So Pratyaksha Praman is direct evidence, which is not very good because our senses are imperfect. We just saw that. Second is Anuman or inductive knowledge. So inductive knowledge is estimation, right? So we hypothesize things, circumstantial evidence, right? So there is only partial information available and we try to fill that gap. But for that, we have to be a little creative. We have to use our mind. We have to use our intelligence, or primarily our mind, right? Because we are relying on our past experience that if certain kind of symptoms are there, then it must be like that. But then we see that mind is subject to illusion. So we cannot really rely on Anuman Pramar. Then Upamana is comparison, right? So analogies. So something is similar to something else. But then any kind of analogy is very limited. It's only limited to certain dimensions, right? So, you know, the similarity is only applies to that specific limited attributes. But Sabda Praman, Sabda means Sruti, right? The words received from scriptures. They are received in disciplic succession. Srila Prabhupada mentions in this lecture. Disciplic succession, this knowledge is transmitted, is received through oral reception, and it is received from someone who knows the truth, right? So if you simply approach someone who knows the truth, then there is no question of all these limitations, right? Brahma pramad vipralapsya karana patava ishwarera vigyere vakya nahi dosha eishaba. These four kind of limitations are not present in the statements which come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these Vedas are Shruti. Shruti means one which is received by hearing process. And this is a very powerful statement Srila Prabhupada makes in the introduction. It's very, very important. It says Vedas are not compilations of human knowledge. Now, if you see the contemporary science, the whole understanding is that the entire corpus of knowledge that exists in the world, right? We live in the information age. Everything is available on the internet. You have YouTube videos. There's AI. There's ChatGPT. But the whole idea or the worldview is that the knowledge is actually a corpus or compilation of human effort. So here's a quote from Albert Einstein. He is considered to be one of the most intelligent scientists, and he makes this statement, which is completely false and it's absurd. According to him, all knowledge of reality starts from experience and ends in it, right? So they say whatever knowledge we have gathered, it's all based on experience, and it ends with it. But what about things which are outside our experience? In this lecture, Srila Prabhupada specifically says that for knowing truth, which is beyond our experience, we need to consult Vedas, right? Because our senses are limited. Our mind is subject to illusion. Intelligence is subject, it can commit mistakes. There's only the scope of what we can perceive by our own endeavor is very limited. And that's why we need Shrutis. That's why we need Vedas. We need to approach those who know the truth. Srila Prabhupada gives an example, just like if somebody wants to know who is one's father, then one has to approach mother. The mother can tell immediately, oh, you know, such and such person is your father. But by experimentation, it's not possible, right? So even if the paternity tests are available with the development of science, there are 8 billion people on this planet. Let's say half of them are men. You cannot perform a paternity test on 4 billion people. It's just practically not possible, right? So Shrutis, they are considered to be like one's mother, right? Because the Shruti, just like the mother can tell who the father is, the Vedas can tell us who our seed-giving father is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? The knowledge about him can only be available through the Vedas. Srila Prabhupada makes another very important point in this introduction, that Vedas are not Hindu scriptures. Sometimes in the Western world, Bhagavad Gita is presented as a Hindu Bible because people are familiar with Hinduism. But then that's an incorrect statement. Actually, we are the followers of Varnashram system. And the followers of Varnashram system, they accept Vedas as infallible. Srila Prabhupada
1 minute. How much time it will take more?
Prabhu, I just have one more slide up, 1 or 2 slides more than this. Is it all right?
Continue.
Okay. The 4 classes are naturally found everywhere. So Srila Prabhupada says that, you know, this is not artificial. It's not the caste system. The Varnas are actually based on one's nature. So one important point I would like to make over here, that this Isavashyam principle in the Isopanisad can be only followed on the basis of 4 legs of dharma, right? The 4 legs of dharma, the first one is truth. So what is the truth? Truth is that everything is controlled by the Lord. Isavashyam idam sarvam. The next leg is cleanliness, right? Means, what it means in this context is that, say everything animate and inanimate which exists in this universe, it belongs to the Lord. And because it belongs to the Lord, we have to take care of it. It should not be polluted, right? So yat kinchana jagatyam jagat, right? So you have to maintain, not exploit it, not pollute it. Then austerity means that one should only take that much that is necessary for one's own self. Tena taktena bhunjita. That means requires some austerity. And mercy means one should not endeavor to take wealth allocated to others. We should be kind to others. Ma grida kashyas vidhanam. But this godless industrial society is completely antagonistic to the Isavasham principle, right? So there is no truth. Everyone thinks that they are the enjoyer and the controller, not the God. There is no cleanliness. There's so much pollution. All these industries, like in Delhi, there's so much industrial waste dumped into Yamuna. There is no austerity, right? Austerity, according to Vedas, either you use human power or animal power, but we have machines powered by fossil fuels. So that destroys the principle of austerity. And there is no mercy, right? For one's own sense gratification, people eat all kind of food stuff. It's not even food stuff, right? It's very, pathetic. So without these four principles of dharma, we cannot follow the Isavasham principle. And to follow these four principles of dharma, Varnashram is important. So Varnashram is a scientific organization of the society, which is based on these four legs of dharma. And only on this base of four legs of dharma, we can follow the Isavasham principle in Isopanisad. And if the society at large wants to follow this, then Varnashram systems should be established. Srila Prabhupada had this as a very important part of his mission, which he desired to complete, but didn't get a chance. So with that, I'll conclude my presentation. Thanks for listening. Hare Krishna.
Very well, very nice. Very nice. So can you give me in 2 lines what you told? Summary in 2 lines.
So in 2 lines, what we can say is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara, is the controller and enjoyer of everything. And the purpose of human life is to understand this principle, apply in our life. And with that as essence, we can achieve the perfection of human life, which is to cultivate devotion. And in this way, all living beings can remain happy and satisfied where no one is exploiting others.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, anybody want to comment? You can remove the sharing button.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm trying to, here, stop share.
Whether other devotees, they are okay there? They are there? All of you are there? Those whose video is off, are you there? Are you hearing? Okay. So, what Radhananda said is very nice thing. Why Prabhupada has put this introduction here, that you have to be very clear. Because he is going to talk about Isha, Ishvara. Correct. So therefore, what he says that when human being says something, that is no use. Shabda Brahman. What is important? Because he wants to establish Veda. Therefore, Prabhupada says that there are 4 defects. Therefore, any living entity will not give perfect knowledge. Therefore, you have to accept the Veda. And in Vedas, then it will talk about Isopanisad. And in that way, he is establishing the Isopanisad. That why you should study Isopanisad. Because you don't have perfect knowledge. Neither you don't have anybody who has a perfect knowledge. Therefore, you take the knowledge from the powerful person. And what Prabhuji said that the Ishavasya principle cannot be practiced by animal. It can be practiced by the human beings only. Human beings means he is following Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma means Prabhupada always says in introduction that Varnashram Dharma will always exist. देखिए लाइट खराब कर रहा है. Varnashram Dharma will always exist. Nobody can say it doesn't exist. Like in company, there is people who are functional, who are technical, who are manager, who are taking care. running this thing will always exist. Only the difference is that we are following Deva Varnashrama. Deva Varnashrama means there is no differentiation here. There is no inferiority that you are low. Everybody is a servant of God, and you do the work which is good for you. You do that work for the satisfaction of God. That is called as a Deva Varnashrama system. Because simply becoming Brahmin, you can't please Krishna. Or simply becoming Kshatriya, you can't become Krishna. If you are doing it for Krishna's pleasure, then only it pleases Krishna. Like Sudama Mali. He is a Mali. According to Varnashrama, he may be considered Shudra. But he is getting the direct mercy of Lord. Lord is taking garland from him every day. He is happy with him. And Sudama is what he knows. He knows how to do the garland and he is offering to Lord. So they are so happy. Okay, good. So, Kiran Prabhu, what about your presentation?
Hare Krishna Guruji, Dandot Pranam.
Here is a half part,
Yes, sir, yes, Prabhuji, half part.
but Prabhuji has covered almost everything.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I thought I only covered first 5 pages. I have not gone beyond it.
So you want to cover anything now? He has covered, or you want to speak something which he has not spoken?
A bit is to be covered.
And one more session was there. No? Who was supposed to give the first sloka, second mantra? Who is supposed to give on second mantra?
The Santosh Prabhuji and Chaitanya Prabhuji.
Are they there? Are they available?
Yes, yes, yes.
So we will give, I think, 10 minutes to every devotee. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
10 minutes.
This is my presentation. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hey boy.
This I have copied from Radhesham Prabhuji. PowerPoints.
But don't make too many PPTs. I generally don't like PPT.
Yes, Prabhuji. So one point which is the authenticity of ISKCON has been covered by Prabhupada ji in the introduction. The Krishna conscious movement has accepted the knowledge from the highest authority. That is our dear Krishna. He is accepted by Narada, Asid, Deval, Vyas, Madhavacharya, Ramanacharya, Shankaracharya. Everybody, including himself, have told many times, pointing finger, Aham Bija Pratapita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhaho, that I am the Supreme. Matta Parataram Nanyam. There is nobody other than me. So we have taken from the highest authority and it saves time. Second, in the introduction, Prabhupada ji has compared between two types of transcendentalists. One is impersonalist or Mayavadis or the Vedantist. Other is the personalist or Vaishnavas. So Mayavadis are represented by Shankaracharya and personalists are represented by Madhavacharya, Ramanacharya and Vishnu Swami, etc. Both of them have accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Shankaracharya, for preaching purpose, we need to remember that Shankaracharya has accepted Narayano Para Avyakta, beyond Avyakta, beyond the impersonal, that is Narayan. Shankaracharya has accepted in his Bhagavad Gita commentary that Narayana is the supreme personality of Godhead beyond the cosmos and whose father is Vasudev and whose mother is Devaki. That is our dear Krishna. Shankaracharya has also accepted in his commentary, which is called Bhagavad Gita Mahatmya, he has accepted Eko Deva Devaki Putra Eva. The only one God is Krishna. Or Eko Mantra tasya namani yani. That is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And only seva is tasya devasya seva, Krishna seva. And for preaching purpose as well as to his dearmost mother, Shankaracharya has told, Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, foolish people, kindly chant the holy name of Govind. And as well as in his YouTube video, His Grace Radhesham Prabhuji has shown the videos of the Shankar Sampradaya people chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and telling others to chant Hare Krishna, that it will clear the sins. So everybody can see the video. If you want the link, I will share the link also. And Vaishnavas has clearly accepted the personal form of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the introduction, Prabhupada has covered the inductive or Aroha Panth versus the detective and Avaroha Panth. To just briefly summarize, accepting an authority, Acharya, and his words as our heart and soul, we can easily achieve Krishna, our ultimate success. And Guru, who is bona fide and fully Krishna conscious, established in Brahman. So this is our closed question. There is a question in our book which is closed question. One question is, what are the two qualifications of Guru? One of the closed question is, what are the two qualifications of Guru? That is bona fide. Second is firmly established in Brahman. So this is our Avaroha Panth, which saves time and effort and quickly delivers correct, accurate, true spiritual result, which is complete. And when we experiment, the example given is searching for one's father, not believing the mother. So you will have to do genetic test for the entire man population, which is half the 800 crores, that is 400 crores, which is not practically possible in one's lifetime. So it is better to accept the axiomic, absolutely proven and settled truth of the Vedas, which is authorized by none other than Krishna himself to Brahmaji. And the science is evolving and it is having little knowledge and it is very dangerous. Example, once there was a plague and these doctors and scientists, they told it is due to cat, and they killed all the cat and the plague increased. And then they told, sorry, it is due to rat. By the time there was no cat and the disease spread. So this is an example given by His Grace Radhesham Prabhuji. So there is high chance of getting failures. So final 2 points. So this Krishna conscious movement is fully authorized and it is complete and fully based on principles of Vedas. And it gives us Krishna by the grace of pure devotees who are in the parampara. Self-studying such an exalted personality who is complete, who is beyond Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the original person, Adyam Purana Purusha. Even Kunti Maharani and in the Brahman Samhita, he is all pervading. And he has multiple forms, Ramadi Murti, Anand, Gologeva Nivasda Aghilatma Pudo. He is everywhere and in Golog. Such a supreme personality we can only understand by the mercy of devotees. So our parampara gives us Krishna and the devotee delivers Krishna to you. So self-study is a mistake and it will be baffling. And in Kali Yuga, this has been written because of our poor memory and short life. We need to make notes and study very carefully to understand this philosophy and to use it in the service of Prabhupada's mission. In a mood of servitude, we can easily understand this vast Vedic literature. And to summarize, the take-home message is the summum bonum of the Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita to be studied under a bona fide disciplic succession. And another take-home message is, do not commit the mistake of studying itself without guidance of devotee. And a right guru who is in the parampara and fully conscious, fully in Brahman, fully Krishna conscious, will give us Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You want PPT? Or you had many slides? Because you are showing only one thing only. Okay, you did not go to top, I think. You can explain this now.
But this is too much, Prabhuji. I also didn't understand.
Okay, expand it now. I'm not able to see. Can you expand it? We are not able to see it. Huh? Okay. Wait. Huh. So Vedic evidence. What is it? Definition of Veda? They need to take guidance. How to go? Correct. What, why, how? First, what page? Definition of Veda. Then this 4 apex he's telling. Okay. Paragraph. Then why he's telling? Why we should take guidance is because of this. How to get knowledge. Conclusion. Okay. This is last. Go to the C slide. How to get pramana. Inductive also deductive, and finally is a deductive knowledge. Shabda pramana. That from where? The Guru. We have to take from the Guru. Is any next slide or done?
Done, Prabhuji.
So Prabhuji has explained very nicely actually. Because if you can't remember everything, only points you can remember. So any questions you have, you can ask him. Nice, Haribol. For both the devotees, we are clapping for both of them. So nice. They have done so much hard work. Now this is a good technique. If I give the devotees, they have to work hard. Otherwise, I have to work hard. No, you have to work. Along with me, you also have to study. Otherwise, it's a passive only. Somebody might be doing something, doing some work, and your class is going on, Bhakti Shastri. Now everybody, please be ready. You all, how many devotees are there? Whichever devotees are, everybody has to give one mantra. Next time one mantra, two mantra, everybody has to give. So then I will come to know, are you really Bhakti Shastri or not? So one question to Kiran Prabhu, why should I accept Shankaracharya? His philosophy is so horrible. So what is the connection? There is no question of hearing Shankaracharya's name also. Yes? Yes or no?
He was a concealed avatar. He was actually a personalist, and he came under the
What is the
instruction
proof? That is, you are telling now, I don't accept. What is
proof.
the proof?
I forgot the proof, Prabhuji, but
Who knows it? Okay, Santosh Kumar Prabhu. No, Bhaj Govinda, they may say Govinda is the name of his guru. Govinda is the name of his guru, so they are telling worship guru. I will give you a lot of argument to you. I am a Mayavadi. Okay. You worship the Govinda. Okay,
Prabhuji, in
Santosh, you
Padma
tell me.
Puran, yes, Prabhuji, am I audible? Yes, in Padma Puran, Prabhuji, Shivji is saying to Parvati, Bhagwan Shiv is saying to Parvati that I will incarnate in Kali Yuga to preach this philosophy of Mayavad. Yes, there is a description like that
But
in
why
Padma
he
Puran.
should preach? Why should you preach the Mayavad philosophy?
So that these atheistic philosophy in this, there is like he wants to distract a particular section of society. That exact name of that I'm forgetting, but so that they cannot approach God.
Make distinction between pure devotees and those who are not devotees. To separate those two.
Okay.
Population.
Nishant Prabhu, then Daya, my Mataji, and then Vaibhavi. Take care. And
Hare
other
Krishna.
devotees, don't do any multitasking on computer. Keep your hands away from the computer. I can see who is doing multitasking. Keep distance. I want to see your whole body. Because other people will do internet. This is not good for you. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Shankaracharya, Lord Krishna has instructed Lord Shiva to take this concealed avatara only at that point at that point of the time when in the society the Vedic rituals were all destroyed. All the rituals were means not followed authentically. It was not spread authentically for the purpose of attaining pure bhakti. It was all materialistic base. So to destroy all these Vedic injunctions and everything, Shankaracharya came and he has to preach this Mayavad philosophy because there was the prevalence of Shunyavad, the Buddhistic philosophies. So
correct, correct,
Shankaracharya.
correct. Nice. So anybody want to add what he has not covered?
Prabhuji, when Lord Buddha came, so many
Who is speaking? Who is speaking?
Dayami.
Ha.
So when Lord Buddha came, so people were misusing the Vedic knowledge for gaining the karmic reaction, like good karma and everything. So Lord Buddha just removed he said Vedic knowledge is nothing, leave it, and he started his own philosophy. So he just removed the Vedas from the picture. So to re-establish the Vedas, Shankaracharya came just to give a gist of the Vedas, not complete knowledge. He just re-established the Vedic knowledge and connected the people to the Vedas.
Correct, correct. Who has raised the hands?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Chaitanya
Ah.
speaking.
Ah.
As per, according to me, Prabhuji, he preached Mayavadi according to time, place, circumstances, and as per the level of the people, just to elevate their consciousness. So we cannot give Shuddha Bhakti to them because they will not accept it according to their level of situation. He has preached.
Okay. Any other thing?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी शंकराचार्य ने अपने कमेंट्री में बताया भगवत गीता के कि नारायण इज सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड इज बियॉन्ड द कॉस्मिक मैनिफेस्टेशन और एंड ही अगेन कंफर्म दैट द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड नारायण इज कृष्णा हिमसेल्फ he has come as the son of Devaki and Vasudev. It is mentioned in the last version of that Bhaja Govinda. So he had accepted that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So
correct. All of you have nicely mentioned. Just in afternoon batch yesterday, I gave a presentation on Shankaracharya. Because one person said, Shankaracharya is very Acharya. We should accept him. I said, how many days you are chanting Hare Krishna? I said, from 2 years I am chanting. I said, you should not attend Bhakti Shastri only. You are not understanding what is Mayavad. He said, what is the issue? Shankaracharya saved Vedic Dharma. Then I give half an hour presentation. How many of you read Science of Self-Realization book thoroughly? If you have read Science of Self-Realization book, then you will understand everything about Shankaracharya. If you have not read, you will not understand. My first book I read was Science of Self-Realization. So, as Lord Krishna went out of this material world, Kali Yuga entered. And then what happened? The Karmakand philosophy was done by Chaimini. And then Mandan Mishra and Sharada, his wife Sharada. And Mandan Mishra, he was accepting only Veda, Karmakand, this, you do Karmakand. He used to hate sannyasis. Mandan Mishra. And because of that, what happened? Ki all the Brahmanas, they were killing the animals in the name of the Yajna. And if the Brahman is killing, what other people will do? Simply follow Brahmin. Forget it. So therefore, Lord has to appear as a Anjani Sutta Buddha in the Gaya, not a Siddhartha Buddha. He is not a Buddha. Anjani Sutta Buddha. What Buddha you have heard is a Siddhartha, Shuddhodana Buddha. That is not avatar of Krishna. He is who? Anjani Sutta in a Gaya. Siddhartha Gautam appeared in Buddha Gaya. That is different thing. Buddha Gaya is different and Gaya is different. Anjani Sutta is appeared in the Gaya. He said, he is avatar. Therefore, he is very influential. He said, stop all the nonsense, Pashyogi. I don't accept Veda. Only one principle, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Gauna principle. Gaun principle. Ahimsa Paramatma, stop nonsense. And all the people, because he's a Lord Avatar, everybody followed him. Everybody followed him. And then what happened? Those who are atheists in the name of the devotee, in the dress of the devotees who are atheists, they are out. And the plain devotion is there. Otherwise, 99.99, those who are making the drama of the devotion, they are actually Mayavadi. But because of this, what happened? They all are out. And the pure devotion remain. Therefore, Shankaracharya never wrote commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. His followers wrote, writing, but he never wrote. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is only for pure devotion. So then, Gautam Buddha preached everywhere in India, only Buddha. Jagannath Puri Buddha, Badrinath Buddha, Kashi Buddha, everywhere only Buddha. Rampant. Then Lord told Shankar Bhagavan that you have to preach Mayavad. Mayavad is existing from the creation only. It is not that Shankaracharya started. Only Shankaracharya can preach Mayavad and still he remains aloof. All of us will fall down. Only the great devotee, Vaishnavana Mehta Shambhu, he can preach Mayavad and still unaffected. Therefore, Lord told you go. And then he says to Parvati, Kalo Brahmana Veshaya. In Padma Puran, that I will appear in the Vesha of Brahmana and preach the Mayavad philosophy. Okay. So what Gautam Buddha said, everything is zero. He said not 0, 1. From 0 to 1. So yes. And then he accepted Vedas. Then they have accepted, then they at least established the Veda. He established the Veda. And all those bogus people will become his followers, who are actually atheists. And then those who really faithfully followed Shankaracharya will take them to the different status after that. Even those who followed Buddha at that time purely, Buddha will elevate them. But now they don't follow even Buddha, so they follow normal nonsense people. They don't follow the Anjani Sota Buddha. So therefore, nothing they will go anywhere. And then those who simply follow Shankaracharya also purely, Shankaracharya will elevate them somewhere. But now that also people are not doing. So Shankaracharya's philosophy we don't accept. We accept Shankaracharya as a devotee of Krishna because he only wrote Jagannath Ashtakam, Radha Kripa Ashtakam, Ranganath Ashtakam, Pandura Ashtakam, Ram Ashtakam, Krishna Ashtakam, all Ashtakam he wrote, not one. And his worshipable deity is Lord Narsingha. And he has, his mother said before sannyasa, whenever I call you, you should come. He said once. Then his mother was leaving the body. He was in Himalaya. Immediately, one jump he came to, which is the place Kalmadi, na? In Kerala. What is the name of that place? Where is he appeared?
Kaladi. Kaladi.
Kaladi, na? No.
Kaladi.
Kaladi. So then he came there. He asked mother, what do you want? Do you want impersonal Brahman? He said, no, I don't want impersonal Brahman. I want Vaikuntha, personal Brahman. He said, okay. Then he sent his mother to Vaikuntha. Then if his mother is sending Vaikuntha, why is giving other people Nirakar? The most dear mother is giving the most confidential. So like that, I have read the entire Shankaracharya's history and biography of Shankaracharya. He is a great devotee of Krishna. He never protected himself. He only remained or depended on Lord Nrsimha all the time. All the time. And one person, he is a follower of Shankaracharya, but he is a great Vaishnava. Although he was in like Siddhar Swami only. He was in a Govardhan Shankaracharya Mutt in Jagannath Puri, but he is the greatest devotee of Krishna. He wrote commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, which is accepted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Understand? He was in Govardhan Shankaracharya Mutt, but he is a great devotee of Krishna. Clear about Shankaracharya? So we should never speak anything bad about Shankaracharya because he actually protected the Sanatana Dharma. He drove away all the Buddhist scholars from India to Nepal, Chin. Therefore, you don't find any scholar of Buddhism. Otherwise, Buddhist scholar, you will not stand in front of them. They will make you chutney. You will forget your own philosophy also. Everything is zero. They are so powerful. They are so powerful in Kutarkavad, not Naya. Kutarkavad. Logic. You will not be able to talk anything because they don't have any Shastra only. They will break you by their kutarkavad, not logic. There is a nyaya philosophy. So therefore, you don't find any Buddhist scholar only here. Otherwise, Buddhist scholars are not so easy to defeat. Shankaracharya defeated them. And they either became a disciple or they went out of the India. Clear about Shankaracharya? Any question about Shankaracharya? So we should always worship him because he's a great Acharya. Prabhupada worshipped him. Prabhupada respected him. He's our Acharya. But no philosophy. Even we worship Lord Buddha, but we don't accept his. We worship Krishna, but we don't accept Krishna's philosophy. Which philosophy? Which he was telling while lifting the Gordhan to the Nanda Maharaj and all. Bogus philosophy. He was telling so many bogus philosophy to Nanda. Why they should stop the worship of Indra? We don't accept. Therefore, we accept the philosophy of Acharya. Rup Goswami says we don't even accept the philosophy of Krishna. We don't accept the philosophy of Gautam Buddha. We don't accept the philosophy of even Dattatreya. Dattatreya is also incarnation of Lord. But we don't accept his philosophy. His philosophy is monism, Advaitavad. Dattatreya, there are many people who worship Dattatreya. They want mystic power. But we don't want that. Have you seen the Datta worshipper people? They have a lot of power. Very, very powerful people. In Maharashtra, they are a lot. Clear now? Any question? So we follow the Acharya, not God also. To follow God is very risky. To follow Acharya is the best. Gaudiya Acharya. Because Raghunath Das Goswami says, if Krishna comes and calls me, I will never go. He comes with Radha, then only I will go. If Radha calls, I am always there. But if Krishna calls, I will never go. Because I can't trust a Krishna. So we are Gaudiya, the devotees of Sri Radha, not Krishna. The devotees of Krishna are called as a Karshniya. We are the devotees of Sri Radha. Therefore, we are called as a Gaudiya. Okay, Amit Doshi Prabhu.
Prabhuji, sorry, I missed the last part where you mentioned that we should not follow Krishna's philosophy.
Yes.
So can you elaborate?
While lifting over the hand, before that, Nanda Maharaj wanted to worship Indra. So
Correct.
Krishna gave many bogus philosophy to stop him from worshipping Indra. That we don't accept. Even Krishna is telling so many bogus philosophy to Arjuna. He is telling that the second chapter, he is telling so many philosophy that why he should fight. Why should he? If you see, in second chapter also he is giving so many Gnostic philosophy also. He said if you think you are a body, okay Arjuna, if you think you are a body, then eat, meat, drink, kill. What is the problem? But is it a philosophy? No. Because he wanted him to fight. Therefore, he is telling all philosophy. So therefore, for us to follow philosophy of Acharya, Achintya Vedapit, given by Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Because Krishna may have to speak anything, anytime. We can't just कृष्ण की कथनी को फॉलो करो और राम की करनी को. कृष्ण की करनी को कभी फॉलो मत करो, मैं तो मर जाऊंगी, है ना. कृष्ण की करनी को कभी फॉलो नहीं कर सकते हम. लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. तो कृष्ण ने गोपियों के साथ डांस किया, हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते? मरो फिर. उसने गोवर्धन उठाया तो उठा सकते क्या तुम? ऐसा. इसलिए आइडियल पहले लोगों को राम सिखाओ, बस एक पत्नी व्रत, सब कुछ धर्म से चलना है. कृष्ण बाद में, वो पहले तुम ऐश्वर्य को समझो, बाद में माधुर्य. ओके, so shall we go ahead now, Baba? We have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Who is going to present now? Santosh Kumar, where are you, Santosh? You are
Yes,
supposed to present on the second mantra. Along
yes,
with him, who is there? Gadekar Prabhu, na?
Yes,
Chaitanya Prabhu.
Chaitanya.
So have you discussed, both of you, who is presenting what? Or no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dr. K. Babu Prabhu gave us like first 3 paragraphs are to be presented by me.
Okay. So start, please.
Yes, Prabhu. So I have not prepared any PPT.
No need.
Yes. So
I will teach you
as
one technique of presentation after this session. It is called as a Brihad. Then, sorry, Bindu, Lagu, Brihad. Remember 3 words. Bindu, Lagu, Brihad. Many
Bindu.
people, they lose the taste of Shastra. They lose the taste of, because too much information is People will be, Arey Baba, I can't study only. Too much information is not good. It's called as a Bindu Lagu Bruhat. If you want to tell Bhagavad Gita to the new person, what I will say? अरे सब छोड़ के भगवान की शरण लो, आपको भगवान मुक्त कर देगा, ये भगवत गीता है, अरे टेंशन मत लो, हाँ सच में ये हो गया बिंदु, टेंशन मत लो, बस भगवान है सब कुछ, ये तो गीता में बोला भगवान ने, ऐसा है क्या? इसका अर्थ जो पूरा का पूरा नॉलेज आया नहीं उसको, बट उसका इंटरेस्ट चलोगा, बस गीता मतलब के सरल मान, बस टेंशन नहीं। फिर उसके मिडल में पहले कर्मयोग बताया, फिर भक्ति योग बताया, फिर संन्यास योग बताया, ऐसा है क्या? बस 3 चीजें, हाँ ज्यादा नहीं है, कर्मयोग, भक्ति योग, संन्यास। फिर वापस उसमें 18 चैप्टर दिए, अलग अलग चीजों का एक्सप्लेन किया, एक एक लाइन में एक एक चैप्टर बोलने का। हाँ ऐसा है क्या? इतना आसान है? हाँ इतना आसान है। तो इसलिए उसको बिंदु मतलब you tell the subject in 3 lines. People don't have time. They want 3-minute video only. In 3-4 lines, you tell the entire subject, Bindu. Then Laghu means explain little detail. And Bhurat means you can talk whole year also on one subject only, one verse only. That is a Bindu, Laghu, Bhurat. So whenever you explain your presentation, how it should be, Bindu, Laghu, Bhurat. Zoom in, zoom out. Otherwise people will lose the track. हम ईशोपनिषद पढ़ रहे हैं, ईशोपनिषद में कहाँ है, हम कुछ भी पता नहीं है। है ना, ये बहुत जरूरी है। ठीक है, अभी बताओ।
Yes. Hare Krishna. The note to all the devotees. So in second, I will be presenting the second mantra, first 3 purports. So in the second mantra, the translation is, one may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in that way. For that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for men. So now in the first para, Prabhupada talks about the desire to live and not to die. So that is quite natural, as Vedas also state, because soul is nitya. Ajo nitya saswato ayam purana. Bhagwan bhi keh rahe hain Bhagavad Gita, means that the soul is nitya. And because the soul itself is nitya, that is why he wants to live forever. He does not want to die. But the body is not nitya. Body is temporary, but the soul is nitya. And that is why there is a struggle of existence. Now he has to live. So he wants to live. Now to live, he has to do some work to maintain himself. For the livelihood, he has to do some work. Now when we talk about work, now it comes with karma bandhan. Agar hum work kar rahe hain, then there will be karma bandhan. But there is a way in which we can continue to live without any karma bandhan. So first is, in the first paragraph, Prabhupada explains the desire to live, that every soul wants to live, and then he has to do some work for the livelihood, because that is the law of material nature. If he is not doing any of his prescribed duties, then he goes more and more engrossed in the cycle of birth and death. So one has to do his prescribed duties. Now, while he is doing so the karma, then in the second paragraph, Prabhupada talks about the 3 types of karma, which is karma, akarma, and vikarma. So I will, yes. So about this, I will explain in simple words. So like Radhesham Prabhu also says, so sanctioned and sanctified. So we will take this right. So karma means doing what is prescribed by the Vedas and doing the prescribed duties, whatever is mentioned in the Vedas. Now vikarma is doing against the Vedas, which will indulge more in this like the sinful activities, which will result in bad, negative karma, positive karma. Now a karma is neutral. It has no karmic reactions. So for example, like we have example of soldier. So if a soldier is killing for the government, then he is awarded a medal. But the same activity, if he is doing for his own self, he is killing his neighbor, then that results into some karmic reactions. Now, this is an example of soldier, but in day-to-day life, how can we understand karma, akarma, and vikarma? So, for example, if we take the example of eating. Now, eating, if he is eating vegetarian food, that also brings some result, as we were discussing yesterday. Now, vegetarian food is sanctioned, but it is still not sanctified. Once we offer it to the Lord, then it is sanctified and it becomes a karma. Then there is no reaction. Eating vegetarian food may come into the karma. Now, eating non-vegetarian food, that is vikarma. Okay. Now, eating and then sleeping. And then sleeping also can be regulated 6 hours. And if we are wholly engaged in the service of the Lord, then that sleeping also becomes a devotional activity itself. Now, eating, sleeping, then mating. Now, outside marriage and before marriage, that kind of mating is vikarma. Now, karma is in mating, it can be within marriage. If he is enjoying mating, then it is sanctioned in the Vedas. And akarma will be when he is only indulging to produce a child to whom he can engage in the devotional service, like for only to produce a Krishna conscious children. Then that mating also becomes a karma. Now, job. Now, so all of this, all these three, this second verse talks about the application of the second mantra, talks about application of Isopanisan principle. Since everything is controlled by Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. That means everything has to be engaged in the service of the Krishna. We have to keep Krishna in the center and do all those activities. If we do in this way, in this consciousness to serve Krishna, then we will not be bound by the karmic reactions. So that is the center point. So even if someone is doing job, so if the target is that, okay, I will earn something sufficiently so that I can continue the devotional service nicely, peacefully, and maintain my life, my family. If that is the goal, then that job or any activity will not bring the results. So karma, akarma, and vikarma. Now, someone may think, okay, what's wrong with doing good karma? I will do some good karma and I will live forever. I will go to the heavenly planets and I will enjoy, because that is sanctioned in the Vedas. I can do that, but that is not guarantee. First is that you cannot go on living forever in the same body. That is one thing. So howsoever wealth you acquire, if your karmas are not good, then in next body you are going to lose all of that. Now, if he is doing all the good karmas only, now let us suppose he goes to the heavenly planet, he will enjoy there for a long interval of time. Now, if he takes birth, suppose in America, okay, which is a very rich country, he will take a birthday. Now, what happens is that because he has done some good karma, he is getting a good birth. Now, a birth in America, he may indulge in sense gratification activities. He may indulge in drinking, he may indulge in illicit sex, and so on. Now, he had done some good activities, but the material world is made in such a way, while he is enjoying his good results, he will commit sinful activities. Now he will go to the Naraka, and then he will suffer there. Then he will again go through the 84 species of life, 84 million species. So bhutva praliyate. So all the cycle goes on and on and on. Even if he tries to do only good activities, he is like Arjuna is asking Krishna that Anichannapi Varsneya Baladiv Niyojita, that even though he does not want, he commits sinful activities and he has to suffer them. So one should not be focused on doing good karma or bad karma. So Prabhupada gives example in one lecture that let us suppose if you give 100 rupees to a beggar in this life, now in next life you have to come again to take 400 rupees from that beggar. So if Krishna is not the center for any activity, then it is associated with the result. Now in the third shloka, third paragraph, Prabhupada talks about that this principle of karma is well explained in the Bhagavad Gita 3.9 to 16. In 3.9, Lord is saying that Yajna arthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. That one should perform the activities for yajna, for the sacrifice. In that purport, it is mentioned that yajna is for the pleasure of the Vishnu. So for the every activity has to be done for the pleasure of Vishnu. Otherwise, it will bring us the karma bandhana. We will be bound by the results of the karma. Now, going forward in 3.9 to 16, he talks about that when he created this creation, he gave this method of sacrifice with which the living entity can enjoy and then achieve liberation as well. So by sacrifice, he can achieve liberation. Now, talking about this, in this 3.9 to 16, Srila Prabhupada mentions about two main things. One is sacrifice, then other is taking only sanctified food, that is prasadam. So yajna means in Kali Yuga we have to do sankirtana yajna. So in all the activities we have to do sankirtan, and while in like we have to offer to the Lord. So whatever we are consuming, everything has to be offered to the Lord. And most importantly, Prabhupada talks about prasadam. So there is a shloka, I will recite it shortly. So there is a statement in the Vedas that ahar shuddho sattva suddho dhruva smriti lambe sarva granthinam vipramoksha. That what is the procedure that now one can say that how will this procedure of doing the sacrifice and everything will bring us to the highest platform. So it says that ahar shuddho. First of all, you take only Krishna prasadam, ahar, suddha ahar. Now, how if we do not take suddha ahar, we are bound to the all those karmic reactions that is in the food. But if we offer it to the Lord, then it is completely pure and it enriches our devotional life. Now, sattva suddhi. Sattva suddhi. Now, once he starts taking shuddha ahar, then his consciousness will become pure. And with that consciousness, his smriti, his intelligence will become pure, his memory will become pure. And with that pure memory, he can remember the Lord and he can keep all these things. The fine tissues of the brain becomes pure and he can retain this Vedic knowledge and he can inquire about Brahma Jigyasa and start his spiritual journey and progress in that way. So this is the point. So one has to do all this karmic, all his prescribed duties, but the center should be Krishna. All the activities, whatever we are doing, we should always think: am I doing this for Krishna? Let us suppose someone is watching a movie. How is it related to Krishna? If it is not related to Krishna, one should not do it. So watching news or like anything, uh, all the activities. So one has to think: how am I going to give this and give the results to Krishna? How am I engaging this in Krishna's service? For example, so it also depends on one's consciousness. One's consciousness should be that I am doing this for Krishna. For example, once a person went to the temple. Now he went to one of the workers. He was building a wall, and he asked him, "Okay, what are you doing?" He said that I'm just picking these bricks and putting them on the wall. Then he went to the second person. He said that, "What are you doing?" So he said, "I am building this whole big wall." And then he went to the third person and he asked, "What are you doing?" So he said that I am building a huge temple for the pleasure of the Lord. Now, all those three people are doing the same activity, but the consciousness is different. So one has to do all the activities for the pleasure of the Lord. And in that way, even if he is doing for hundreds of years, he will not be bound to the karma. Otherwise, he will be lokoyam karma bandhan. He will be bound to the karma bandhan, and the cycle of birth and death will continue. So yeah, with this point, I would like to conclude. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So anybody has any question? Nicely explained. Any question? So can you explain in 4-5 lines?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
I
Daya
think
Kamai Mataji has a question. Let her ask question.
yes.
Puche.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, our mind is so intelligent that whatever we do, it has a justification for it, or we can say that yes, it is for Krishna only. If I'm watching a movie, then also I'll find some reason, like I take out some learning from it, and I'll say, okay, like I'll do it. This will help me in my devotion service. So how can we like be cautious and we can stop ourselves? Not to get deviated from the.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you for bringing this point. So, mind will give us so many ideas. So, to control the mind, one has to go to the intelligence platform, because intelligence can control the mind. Now, that intelligence should be guided by the Vedic literatures. So, when we take this knowledge, then our intelligence becomes strong. Now, that intelligence has guided the mind. This is the way. So, one has to refer the Shastras. Okay. And then, with the help of the Shastras, he has to understand them, he has to teach the mind. Now, even in that, we can commit mistake. Even sometimes, because Shastras are vast and they have so many instructions according to the time and place. Now, one can take wrong decision even based on the Shastric intelligence that he has, because that ahankar can even control the intelligence. So for that, one needs a guru, because guru can guide over the ahankar and that intelligence. He can help us uh, apply the principles according to the time, place, and circumstance. So in short, mind has to be controlled by intelligence, and that also has to be guided by a senior devotee or a guru. One should consult basically before taking any major decision. Yes, Amit. Is
Prabhuji,
that clear,
follow
Mataji? Or
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, I have a follow-up question. So, in the material world, especially in the growth ashram where you're working in corporate, you want to be relevant, right? When you're, talking to people, not everyone is in
yes,
Krishna consciousness. So, let's stick to the same example of watching movie. Recent movie was Chava, right? It is not at all related to Krishna in a way. I mean, as Mataji said, perhaps I can bring a connect. Mind can bring that connection. Okay, to
yes,
establish
yes.
dharma. He did it. So do you still feel that? And this is question to Madhav Prabhuji and everyone as well. Is do we still feel that that should not be done? Um, Watching movie like that.
Okay. So I will try to explain on my understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So now again, the what is the goal? Why are you watching that movie? Now someone may be a very great preacher, and he may have a consciousness. Okay, everyone is watching this movie, and I have some good. Some maybe I should watch this movie so that I can explain something from, like he may take some examples out of it so that it is easy to explain to the audience. Sometimes you have to connect with the audience. So if he is doing with that purpose, many times a nice preacher may not even need that. He can explain on the basis of sastras only. But it depends on the consciousness. Now, someone may have concept, okay, everyone is watching, everyone is saying it's good, that's why I should watch. Now, that is a material consciousness. So, one needs to check with what consciousness he is watching. So, once in an airplane, Prabhupada was there was a screen, and some cartoon or something was going on the
Charlie
screen.
Chaplin.
Pro-
Charlie
yeah,
Chaplin.
Charlie
news
Chaplin.
version.
And Prabhupada was watching it and smiling. But the consciousness he had different. He had a different consciousness. I am exactly forgetting the entire episode. But he had a different consciousness even when he was watching the Charlie Chaplin. So
What
it
he said
depends on
was
the conscious.
humorous. He said Krishna is also humorous. He was remembering Krishna's
Yes,
pastime with Gopas. Just like Charlie Chaplin is humorous, Krishna also does similar humor with the Gopas. So that was his consciousness.
exactly.
And actually, Charlie Chaplin was trying to please Krishna, but he doesn't know. Every Jivatma, even the movie Chhava, or all the girls of the movie, they also are looking for Krishna only. They don't know. They don't know that actually they can only please Krishna. All other people have no value. Why these people are doing all this? Because they don't have knowledge. Whom they are supposed to do? Whom in front of them they are supposed to present their talent. Krishna conscious philosophy is very, very vast. All the music, trance, beauty, aesthetics, everything is included in Krishna consciousness. And different people have different consciousness. So they are, suppose for example, in front of Krishna, many people will come, they will dance also. They will sing also. For the pleasure of Krishna. So it is getting purified. Now, watching Chhawa movie, people are watching pornography. So what I will suggest, okay, watch Chhawa movie. Don't watch pornography, spoil your spiritual life. You watch this, okay. You have that habit of watching now, think watch it. Because I am not, I am failing to give him some good content now. If I tell the stories of Krishna, Parshuram, Mahabharata, that, this, where is the time? Because screen is always ideal. Screen will not be able to help you. If you have a powerful katha every day, not like my boring Bhakti Shastri katha. Katha, Parshuram, this incarnation, that incarnation, so mind-boggling incarnation, Mahabharata, Ramayana, people will simply, we want to hear. We want to, if we don't give, if you give boring katha, people will watch Chhawa because action is there. Are Parshuram action you watch. In one, he is killing the people in the speed of mind. And when he was tired, he was killing people by the speed of wind. Powerful person. 60,000 children of Karthur, he cut. As soon as people say Parshuram is coming, next moment their necks are cut. Next moment you will find only blood. Nothing is, not even 1 second also. Parshuram is coming, finish. Entire village city, blood. That is Mahabharata. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. You have to tell like that way. Why people are watching Seva movie? Because they want to watch fighting. I also want to watch fighting. I used to watch movie, but what movie? Fighting movie. Because I would to like fighting. So therefore Krishna says, now, Satam Prasangam Avir Sampito Bhavanti Ratkirna Rasayana Kata Tajoshanada Pavarga Vartmani Sraddha Ratir Bhakti Anukramishati. One who hears in the association of devotee the Katha of my Virya. Then we should produce the movie like Krishna. At a time he's fighting with 7 bulls. 7 bulls. Mitravrinda's hand he wanted to take. He kidnapped Rukmini. All the kings they are watching her beauty, they're falling down. And Krishna quickly comes and tag Rukmini. Tak. So wonderful Bhagavatam is there. You want the chivalrous pastime. All movies are based on Krishna only. They're simply cheating from Krishna. They're simply taking from Krishna. All movies are originating from Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Chhawa is nothing in front of Krishna. He is the greatest Chhawa. Every name belongs to Krishna. Chhawa also name belongs to Krishna only. Whatever name it, name belongs to Krishna. Okay. And see, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati will also tell the people, okay, get all the news. And then he will give the magazines on the news. What is happening here? So Prabhupada will also, what is the current news? Tell me. And then he will produce in Back to God in magazine. So what is the consciousness of the person? What is your own consciousness? If you are addicted to watching porn movie, okay, watch Chhawa. Because nobody will come here tell that I am addicted to porn. I am addicted to do this thing. Nobody will tell. So we have to guide that person according to, or we have to give engagement. Let people take to the, this all IT industry is spoiling the people. Go to the farm, do some hard work, let the sweat come. All this IT industry is spoiling the people because their brain is ideal, they are earning a lot of money. So they have so much time and they will do all nonsense thing. Farmer is working hard, he is seeing something is happening. Correct? Therefore, I am telling many of my students to go to the farm. Okay, don't quit the job immediately. वर्क फ्रॉम होम करो, खेती संभालो धीरे धीरे धीरे, क्योंकि 2030 में सब कोलैप्स होने वाला है आईटी। प्रभुपाद ने तो पहले बोला 50 साल के बाद कुछ भी नहीं रहने वाला है। देयर विल नो मोर सिटी। वन ऑफ हिज डिसाइपल्स सेड व्हाट अबाउट सिटी? ही सेड नो मोर सिटी। व्हाट सिटी टेंपल यू आर टॉकिंग? ही सेज आई हैव द स्टेटमेंट एंड ही सेड एस्टैब्लिश वर्णाश्रम मींस सेल्फ सस्टेन लिविंग। Okay, what time you have? Okay, I will go my own food. I will take my food, chant Hare Krishna peacefully. I will not see my own children are spoiling. If you send the children to outside college, they are spoiled. If you send the girls to outside university, they are spoiled. That is the default. That is the natural. No need to ask the detail. Don't ask the detail. I am writing on paper and telling you. Don't ask me the detail because principle is there. We are failing. We are failing to help people to create the system. People want to do good thing, but we are not giving them. We are not giving them. Prabhupada has already told us to do it, but we are not. People want to, nobody can become brahmachari, sannyasi, 99% will get married. So what this sloka is telling? That yes, everybody want to now, and the principle is mentioned that everything belongs to God and accept your quota and don't accept other, don't take others. Now this is principle. Now all the things are detailed. Now this Baldev Bhushan says the second shloka is a Varnashram Dharma in his commentary to Isopanisad. What is that? That we are supposed to work. You can't be idle. You can't be idle. So what kind of work? According to Varnashrama, Dharma, according to Dharma. And when you do that work, what Baldev Bhushan says that some people think that Nishkarmya, not doing anything, will liberate me. है कि नहीं? भारत में लोग बोलते हैं सब छोड़ दिया और अभी लिबरेशन ऐसे नहीं मिलेगा. Liberation cannot be achieved by Nishkarmya. Liberation can only achieved by Buddhi Yoga. So entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna what Buddhi Yoga. Not work done with the Krishna conscious intelligence. This is called as a Buddhi Yoga. Yes, you have to do work for Krishna. That is actual renunciation. If you see, every time Krishna, Arjuna is asking the same question, shall I work or take renunciation? So Krishna is again telling the same thing. When you work for God, that is a sannyas. Not even the sannyas is also doing work. What? He is hearing. That is also work. Work with ears. Work with the ears. So this concept has to be clear in the second shloka. The concept is clear. What is the concept? That some people think that by not doing any work, renouncing everything, you will achieve what? Liberation. But no. In Bhagavad Gita 2.38, clearly Krishna says that. It is not possible. And in India especially, common people believe that every activity results in, okay, karmic bondage. Okay, correct. So the Gita Upanishad and this second verse of Isopanisad, they are very, very powerful. Abhi now in Bhagavad Gita 5.9, Krishna says, merely renouncing all the activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. Of course, I am not talking about Krishna conscious work. Outside people think that सब काम छोड़ देना चाहिए, ध्यान करना चाहिए, बस. अरे वो नहीं. भक्ति अलग होता है और ये जो ज्ञान होता है ये अलग होता है. ज्ञान मतलब कृष्णा कॉन्शियस ज्ञान नहीं बोल रहे हम. ये जो स्पेक्युलेटिव ज्ञान होता है कि भगवान क्या है, सत्य क्या है, सत्य क्या है, वो स्पेक्युलेटिव ज्ञान बोल रहे हैं. इन द फर्स्ट चैप्टर भगवद गीता अर्जुन सेड कि नहीं, अगर मैं युद्ध करूंगा मुझे रिटर्न मिलेंगे, मैं नरक में जाऊंगा, उससे अच्छा मैं युद्ध नहीं करता हूँ. तो कृष्ण बोलते कि नहीं, अगर आप आपका वॉरियर धर्म नहीं करेंगे तो आपको पाप लगेगा. हाँ, इसी सेकंड मंत्र में वही बोला, ना कर्म लिप्यते नरे. If one acts in the spirit of Ishavasya, he is not bound by any karmic reaction. Even imperfectly applied, the Ishavasya principle brings the eternal benefit. 2.40. Neha Vikrama Nashvast. Prabhupada says a humble, God-centered life is more valuable than a colossal havoc of a life dedicated to the godless altruism or socialism. Isopanisad Mantra 2. There is no alternative to this way for the man, Isopanisad, and same Bhagavad Gita also. 3.9. Prabhupada says work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. And also, very subtle thing here. In mantra to the result of, okay, what I that subtle thing I already told you, that people think that not by doing any work, you will achieve liberation. That is a myth. That is a myth. Entire Bhagavad Gita Krishna told for Arjuna for the same purpose. So therefore, what I told you, that everybody has to find out what he has to work, how he has to work for pleasing Krishna. You can't say, प्रभु जी मुझे अभी बहुत लोग बोलते हैं यार हम भी ब्रह्मचारी बनते तो कितना अच्छा होता है, कुछ काम नहीं है। अरे इतना आसान थोड़ी होता है। ब्रह्मचारी के पास माइंड होता है, वो उसको नरक में भी लेके जा सकता है, डायरेक्ट एक्सप्रेस टू द नरक लोक का। समझ गए? उससे अच्छा तुम काम करो, शांति से रहो, गलत काम नहीं कर सकते। खाली माइंड शैतान का घर होता है। क्या होता है? शैतान का घर। ऐसे कितने नॉर्थ इंडिया में साधु लोग घूमते, स्मोकिंग करेंगे तो खाली साधु का धर्म को बर्बाद कर रहे लोग, है ना। कुछ भी करते नहीं, खाली बैठे रहेंगे। खाली कोई नहीं बैठ सकता। खाना पचाने के लिए भी आपको काम करना पड़ता है, भागना पड़ता है, तो नॉर्मल खाना भी नहीं पचता। लोगों को इतनी बीमारी है कि 10-10, 20-20 हजार रुपए तो केवल उनका मेडिसिन में जा रहा है। खा के डाइजेस्ट भी नहीं हो रहा है, उसके लिए भी काम करना पड़ता है। ब्राह्मण क्यों नहीं काम करता? क्योंकि वैदिक मंत्र बोलता है, ओम हिरण्यवर्णम हरिणीम सुवर्णरजतस्सहजाम। तो दैट ब्राह्मण इतना खाता क्यों है? क्योंकि ऐसा मंत्र बोलते हैं कि डाइजेस्ट हो जाता है। वो काम कर रहा है, इंटरनली काम कर रहा है, नहीं तो एक्सटर्नली काम करो, लेकिन काम तो करना पड़ेगा। आइडियल इज नॉट गुड। So the second mantra is a practical application. How to apply this Ishavasya principle. How to work. Because you can't say, yes, everything belongs to God. Now I will just simply sit. No, that is not possible for you. That is not possible for you. Any question? तो आपको समझना चाहिए हम अभी कहाँ पे बताता हूँ मैं आपको। हम है ईशोपनिषद में। We are in the Isopanisad. What is the Paribhasha Sutra of Isopanisad? Everything belongs to God. He is the controller, creator, and He is pervading everything. Therefore, one should only take whatever quota allowed to him, and as the same meaning what I told you, he should find out what he's supposed to do for the God, pleasure of God, what God wants him to do, and don't grab others' property. Now, this is the principle. Now, how to do it? That every person has to work hard. So, what he has to do? He has to find out Krishna conscious work. What he has to do? Krishna conscious yat karoshi yad ashnashi yat josu dadasi yat tapasyasi konte tat purushamadarpanam. If suppose somebody is a farmer, उसको बहुत अच्छा नॉलेज है, अच्छे अच्छे गार्डन बनाओ, भगवान के लिए ऑर्गेनिक फूड करो, भगवान को भोग लगाओ, भक्तों को भी खिलाओ। वो ऐसा करेंगे तो भक्तों का आशीर्वाद मिलेगा, खुश हो जाएंगे। अभी भगवान का नाम, अगर वो बोलेंगे आर्टिफिशियल, अभी मैं क्या करूँगा, फार्मिंग छोड़ के ना 8 घंटा भागवत पढ़ूंगा, और उसका सर फोड़ रहा है, उसको नींद आ रहा है, फिर भी भागवत उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, सो उसको तो आर्टिफिशियल बंदर की तरह दिखता है। अरे वो तो कर नहीं सकता, क्यों कर रहा है बंदर जैसे हरकत? तू फार्मिंग ठीक से कर सकता है ना, भगवान को बढ़िया 56 भोग खिलाना, भगवान तुझे लेके जाएंगे, या स्कॉलर ये बैठे रहेगा, तुझे भगवान लेके जाएंगे। समझ गया? कोई लेडी है, उसको भगवान के लिए भोग बनाना आता है, अरे भगवान को हर दिन 108 भोग खिलाओ। भगवान कहेंगे तू यहाँ क्या करे, मेरे साथ उधर वैकुंठ में, मुझे उधर खिला, इधर मत बैठ। जैसे एक ब्राह्मण खिलाता तो भगवान उसको ऊपर लेके गए, है ना। हाँ? तो जो तुमको नहीं करना है, क्यों करना है? भक्ति इज वेरी सिंपल, वेरी, प्रोवाइडेड यू एक्सेप्ट दैट आई एम सर्वेंट। हमें दूसरा क्यों करना है? हमको स्पीकर नंबर 1 बनना है यूट्यूब का, ये वो, जैसे अमुक लीला प्रभु है। अरे नहीं, तुम नहीं कर सकते हो। स्पीकर बनने से तुम भगवान के धाम नहीं जा सकते, श्रवण बन के जा सकते। कैसे बन के जा सकते हो? श्रवण। तो हमें हमारा सेवा ढूंढना है, और वह जीवन भर वही सेवा करते बैठना, जीवन भर, और कुछ नहीं। जैसे वृंदावन में एक विभू चैतन्य में बंगाली ड्यूटी थे, he used to cook for Krishna. So Prabhupada said, you only chant 4 rounds, and just cook for Krishna. He's a Nanda Raj. He's a son of Nanda, and you are not giving anything to him. Bas, big sannyasi will come and offer him pranam and take his blessings. Vibhu Chaitanya. Only him, Prabhupada, you only chant for him. Throughout the day you cook. Because he is cooking directly to Krishna in Vrindavan. So if you're directly cooking for Krishna, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. Clear ho gaya? Ishavasya principle. So now, next sloka is a what? What kind of action will bind you? अभी क्या बताया कि क्या करने से और क्या नहीं करना, अभी वो भगवान बताएंगे. मंत्र थर्ड में क्या बताएंगे? हाँ, मैंने आपको बिंदु बताता हूँ. क्या बताएंगे? In mantra 2,
Hare
the
Krishna,
result of
Prabhu-
following the instructions of
Hare
Lord were
Krishna.
described. In mantra 3, the effect of acting whimsically is presented, depending on whether they obey the order of the Lord or not. All human beings are designated as a suras and asura. So mantra 3 में क्या है? What will happen if you don't follow the ईशावास्य principle? हमेशा हमें हुक किसको रखना है? फर्स्ट लो का कनेक्शन कहाँ रखना है? ईशावास्य, ताकि आपको क्लियर रहेंगे कि मैं कहाँ पे हूँ, कहाँ फ्लोट कर रहा हूँ. क्लियर हो गया? So we will give presentation on mantra 3. Now one devotee now. We have 19 mantra. How many devotee? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Hare
10,
Hare Krishna,
11,
Prabhuji.
12,
I'm
13,
audible.
14, 15, 16, 1 minute, 17. So 17 में से 4 चले गए हैं. अभी 13 बचे. तो एक एक मंत्र सबको देना है. गायत्री माता जी ने हाथों पर किया है. निशांत कुमार ने हाथों पर किया है. दमयंती माता जी तो अभी हम अल्फाबेटली जाएंगे. डी को दे देंगे, नहीं तो फिर पार्शियलिटी हो जाएंगी. है ना? डी माता जी प्रिपरेशन करो. कैसा करना है? जस्ट इतना पीपीटी दिखा के हमको मारना मत, है ना? प्रेजेंटेशन लॉजिकल होना चाहिए, नहीं तो लोग सोने नहीं चाहिए. पहले बिंदु, लघु, बृहद. पहले छोटा सा बताना है कि ये क्या बताने वालों में, फिर इसको एक्सपांड कैसे करना, और बाद में आपको कंक्लूजन देना हमने क्या देखा. 10 मिनट का प्रेजेंटेशन करना है. ट्राई टू गिव सम स्टोरी ऑल्सो, नहीं तो लोग सो जाते हैं. ठीक है, मैं भी सो जाऊंगा. मैं भी ह्यूमन बीइंग हूँ. ठीक है, और किसका प्रश्न था? बोलिए. चैतन्य गादेवार प्रभु, आप के
प्रभु जी,
बाबू प्रभु आप लिख
एक्चुअली
लो.
मेरा
ये माता
मे-
जी का सेशन है.
हरे कृष्णा
हाँ
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी मेरा भी
बोलिए.
इसमें था. प्रभु जी मंत्रा 2 में मेरा भी थोड़ा 3 पैराग्राफ था. आई एम ऑल्सो
हाँ क्या?
हैज टू.
अभी किसने बोला? फिर अभी बचा है
वो
क्या?
संतोष कुमार जी ने बोला. हाँ मैं हूँ.
Yes.
मैं बचा हूँ प्रभु
ठीक
जी.
है, तो हाउ मच टाइम यू विल टेक?
10 minutes प्रभु जी, नॉट मोर देन दैट.
हाँ तो बता दो फिर अभी. बता दो.
आई एम ऑडिबल प्रभु जी ना?
अगले सेशन
एवरीवन
का
आई
फिक्स
एम
करो.
ऑडिबल.
मेरा क्या है ना, आई टेक ओनली
Yes.
प्रसाद एट वन टाइम. सो आई टेक एट 12:30, बट अभी मुझे ऑलरेडी लेट हुआ है. मैंने सुबह से कुछ नहीं खाया है. मुझे भूख लगा तो मेरा गुस्सा चढ़ जाऊंगा, किसको ब्लास्ट कर दूंगा मैं पहले ही बोल रहा हूँ. मुझे पित्त भड़क जाता है. हाँ बोलो.
आई एम ऑडिबल प्रभु जी.
हाँ हाँ
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, I will just take 5 to 10 minutes. So,
हाँ.
I have taken the this fourth paragraph. So here, Prabhupada said about the conditioned soul. So the conditioned soul has lot of conditionings, like he wants to gratify his senses for his self and extended. Like Prabhupada has given example of socialism, communism, nationalism, humanitarianism. So a lot of isms are there. So when people are nationalism or humanitarianism or socialism, there these different kinds of karma, they will have the karma bandhan for them. So they're doing the fruitive activities. But the Krishna conscious person or the devotee, he do this all these fruitive activities, and he can do this. He can offer these activities result to unto the lotus feet of Krishna, and he can do these activities for the pleasure of Krishna. So the Prabhupada has taught us the yukta vairagya. This principle is very beneficial for all of us for doing the same work. Like anyone is doing professional job, somebody doing business, or whatever work we are doing, we can offer their results to the Krishna. Like that, this is the Yukta Vairagya principle. So even like we are all educated people, so we can utilize our educational degrees. We earn a lot of money. We can use that money for Krishna's service by giving donation,
Give the money to
by
me to
giving.
establish Gurukul.
Yes, Guruji. So it's very difficult for Grahastha donation. I'm personally I'm finding very difficult, but I started from small and gradually I will try more and more. So please pray for me so that I can
Yes.
utilize this Yukta Vairagya principle in my life.
Actually,
Yes,
without yes. Good. Anything more?
Then, Prabhuji, this fifth paragraph, Prabhupada has told about the greatest danger. Like, what is the greatest danger in this life? Death is not a greatest danger. Losing a job is not a greatest danger. So, going away from Krishna, falling down from the spiritual path, that is the greatest danger in this human form of life. Because this human form is very valuable. After 84 lakh species, we got this human form. The purpose of the human form is awakening Krishna Prem by following, chanting, reading, hearing, visit temple, that Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasinam. These are all 9 processes of bhakti. This is the purpose of human form of life. Because our senses are imperfect, so whatever we see, whether it is properly utilized or not properly utilized, we don't know. Like Mataji said, whether we are we are following the Yukta Vairagya principle or not. So for that, we have to take the shelter of the counselor, Shiksha Guru, and under his or her guidance, we can check our individual condition and situations, how we can elevate our consciousness, and don't decide on ourselves, because our mind is a cheater. We will take a lot of things on Krishna's name. Like we will have a big car and we'll see this car will be utilized in Krishna's service by taking the devotees, by taking deities. Like that, our mind will say 100 reasons. But what is our consciousness? Whether we are doing for our sense gratification or for the sales, for Krishna's pleasure, that can be checked by our senior devotees and counselor. So that is my learning. I have to take shelter of the senior devotee and counselor, and we have to ask the specific question according to time, place, situation of our life. Then another thing, like in Grahastha life, we are very much busy in our making money, and we are nowadays the jobs are very much like whatever I'm finding the challenges. Nowadays jobs are very stressful, so we are not getting time for Krishna. So what is the solution? We can have the simple living life. As per everybody has different definition, simple living. But whatever is there, if you follow the simple living, so that we will not able to, we don't have to work very hard to earn more money. Like a teaching job, I find very simple job. So this kind of just example. I have seen a lot of senior devotees in Grahastha. They go for teaching job. They do for simple job. So they get a lot of time for Krishna. So like that, I'm getting inspiration from senior Grahastha devotees doing a simple job. Even though they are very much highly qualified, they can earn a lot of money, but they are taking simple job and giving more time to Krishna. So that is one thing I want to follow in my life, like going to go for a simple job and giving more time to Krishna. So like if I want to give the, after that, there is a Vanaprastha ashram. Suppose in ISKCON, I get a lot of inspiration from Gudakesh Prabhu. Now Gudakesh Prabhu is in NVCC temple only. Today he has given the lecture. So how he is chanting 128 round on a daily basis. So he is the inspiration
आपका
for
शादी हुआ है क्या?
Vanaprastha ashram. हाँ मेरा हो गया प्रभु जी.
हाँ? How
So
many
my
children?
age is one children.
What is your age
So
now?
my age is 37 Prabhu.
Okay, good.
So I'm not taking Vanaprastha immediately, but that is the goal. I'm looking for that goal. He is ideal, and we should also we cannot imitate him, but at least we can take inspiration. Gradually, we can elevate and go towards that path.
Good.
So these are the things, Prabhuji. And last, Prabhupada said, if you want to execute the God-centered activities, we have to elaborately explain. It is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. So we need to read the Nectar of Devotion after this Isopanisad book, so that we will get the elaboration of the how we can practice bhakti.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
इसलिए let the people get married at the age of 21 so that they can get retirement at the age of 35. The people get married at the age of 35, they will not be able to retire till 50. Correct.
I got
इसलिए
I got married in 27.
हाँ, तो
I am
आपका
also
6
planning.
साल लेट हुआ है.
6 साल लेट हुआ.
अभी जब तक आपके बेटों का मैरिज नहीं हुआ, आप कहाँ से निकल जाओगे?
नहीं
क्या
अभी तो नहीं
एज आपके
निकलेंगे.
बेटे का एज क्या है?
मेरे बेटे का एज प्रभु जी 7 year old है.
7. अभी आपको कम से कम 10 साल लगेगा. ठीक है,
यस
अभी 37 है, मतलब 47, मतलब
एटलीस्ट
बूढ़े हो गया।
मुझे 50 के बाद तो कर सकते ना।
बट एक्चुअली वो 50 कब होता है, जब आपका 100 ईयर लाइफ है। अभी आपका
हाँ,
केवल 70 ईयर लाइफ है, 100 नहीं है। इसलिए 21, 35, दैट्स वन बचता।
यस यस
ओके, एनीवे, हाँ, अभी हमारा नहीं हुआ, बच्चों का करें। और इवन वी कैन लिव 100 ईयर्स आल्सो, बट आपको काफी सात्विक जीवन जीना पड़ेगा। रेगुलर खाना, रेगुलर टाइमिंग, ऐसा नहीं कि वी विल आर डाई क्विकली, नो। Prabhupada says people are dying because of irregular habits. Because of, as a ISKCON devotee also, you have to keep some regular habit. In the name of ISKCON, you can't eat the junk food, do anything. No. Then you will lose your body. If you are ready to lose your body, no problem. Remain, keep the soul. But if you are affected by body, then you have to follow the laws of body, laws of the nature. If you are not affected, doesn't matter. Kidney fail, कोई problem नहीं. Chant Hare Krishna. हाँ, ज़्यादा परेशान मत करो किसी को, ठीक है?
यस
Nice presentation by. So we will clap for all our devotees. Nice presentation. Please, सबके लिए ताली बजाइए। बहुत अच्छे से किया सबने, मजा आया। अगर मेरा सुनते थे आप बोर हो जाते थे ना, तो ये अप्रोच अच्छा है। We will keep this approach only. So next session who is given that Dhamma Mata ji is there. So please note down, ना किरण प्रभु माता जी का सेशन है, उनको रिमाइंड करना एक दिन पहले, और भूलने नहीं चाहिए। ठीक है।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
प्रभु जी।
कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे,
हरे
हरे राम
हरे
राम
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 राम हरे,
राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
विश्व कृपा
सिन्धुभ्यश्च
सिंधु
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो
अनन्तकोटि वैष्णवभक्तवृन्द की जय, श्रील
की जय
प्रभुपाद की
भगवान की
जय,
जय
ईशोपनिषद की जय।
जय।
हरि बोल,
दंडोत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरि बोल। अटेंडेंस वगैरह आप ले रहे हो ना प्रॉपरली?